Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for today's special teleseminar brought to you by the Wealth Building CPA, which is, of course, run by EBERE Okoye, CPA and real estate investor. My name is Yasmin Razak, and I am doing an interview today with one of EBERE's clients and joint venture partner. His name is Robert Miller, and he specializes in wholesaling and rentals. He purchases, sells, and rents homes and basically tries to help people out who have problems with housing and offers them great solutions. His company name is True Properties LLC, and today I'm just going to be asking him a few questions about real estate investing, how he got into it, and hopefully it will be some inspiration to some of the listeners today. So thanks for joining us today, Robert.
My pleasure, Yasmin.
So let's get started with basically people listening are going to want to know, how did you get started in real estate investing?
Well, getting started in real estate. Well, first, I know there's three individuals that I have to pay homage to, which would be one, God, for giving me the vision, the guidance, and the desire to actually seek out doing real estate investing. I know my mom and my dad also played a part in this, my dad being the first one that became a real estate agent in the family. I really didn't know of anyone else, friends, family, extended family, that was in the real estate business, real estate investing, or anything for that matter. And it all started with an afternoon in Ocean City, sitting in a two-bedroom condominium on a sunny afternoon. We sat down to have lunch, and I was sitting there talking with my parents. I was about 22, 23 years old. And who else pops up on the television but Carlton Sheets? And most of us know who he is. Some have bought his course, some haven't. Some have bought him and kind of stuck it on his shelf. Well, I was one of the people that bought the course. My mother looked to the side and said, "Hey, would you like to split it?" At that time, I was a full-time electrician, and I seen an opportunity. So I said, "Sure, why not? Let's go in half." It was only a $100 course, so it was $50 a piece, and that's how everything got started. I brought the course home, started studying it, and to this day I still have the course, still refer back to it, and I am not sure, I'm not 100% sure if my mother ever received the $50, and I'm also pretty sure she hasn't seen the course yet. I haven't let her read the course at all, I don't think. Not that I haven't let her, but really I've just kind of kept it in my possession.
Okay, good. Well, hopefully your mom will listen to this interview and she'll chase you for that $50.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's a great story. Obviously, Carlton Sheets is very well known in the real estate community as being sort of the granddaddy of real estate investing and showing ordinary working people that they can do it too and build wealth that way. So that's really interesting. So how did you go about getting your first deal done?
Well, my first deal, again, back to Carlton Sheets. I mean, I read the course. I did exactly what it said, and that's what people have to do nowadays. I mean, I took the course, and I could have just stuck it on a shelf, or I could have read it and not done anything with it. But I read the course. I read it and listened to the CD, and I actually got up and did exactly what it said. And I figured, hey, what do I have to lose? So my first deal, my dad being the first real estate agent, mentioned to me something about a rental property in the area. So we went over, we took a look at it. I came back, I ran some numbers, and the numbers made sense. I did exactly what the course told me to do. I used all the expenses, the income, and found my bottom line. And when I knew that I could make an income every month, I said, let's go pull the trigger. And then came the financing, which I ran into a difficulty with the financing, but because of, again, Carlton's course, which is the only resource that I had to go to at that time, I end up pulling a home equity line of credit out of my home. I had credit built, and this is back, of course, in 2000 or 2001, where the market was very different from now. But we pulled out a line of credit, and I used $20,000 from that $30,000 line of credit for a down payment and closing cost for the property. And I ended up getting about $1,700 cash back at closing from rent credits, tax credits, security deposit credits, And when I found out, wow, I can actually buy properties with this course, make money at closing, and I'm not using any of my own money, and I'm going to be receiving money every month, I said, wow, this is just one of many deals that I'm going to be doing.
Okay, that's great. You make it sound so easy there. We know obviously there's a lot more to it, but it's great to see that you went from being, an electrician to being able to grasp how to make money in real estate, which is basically what it's all about, and you seem to have nailed it there. So what are some of the other challenges? We know you mentioned you had some challenges with the financing initially. What other challenges did you face? Could you give us one or two examples?
Yeah, probably the biggest but most exciting challenge was to hear how many people, whether it's family, friends, extended family, or people you know at work, just telling you, no, you can't do it. Just somebody just saying, wow, yeah, I've heard about that, but no, I've never really seen it done, or you can't do that, or sitting there and even talking to people that were in the industry and saying, hey, I was looking to try to do this, this is something I'd like to do for real estate investing and, to, support my family. But you would constantly get people saying, no, you can't do this, Everybody says you can't do it. So that being the biggest challenge, but once I realized that with God all things are possible, that kind of just went away in smoke. So that challenge was an exciting challenge. I still hear it sometimes today, but I've done kind of taken that out of my mind. Now, dealing with the deals, you have the financing problems, landlord-tenant relationships, balancing work, home, and the investment part of it. So there's many different challenges, but the main two I would say is the people that motivate you by challenging you to actually do it, by saying no, you can't, and running into financing for the deals. They would probably be the two strongest ones.
Okay, great. And obviously these are challenges that you're able to overcome. So that's something that is, I think, a lot of real estate investors, one of the fears that they have, which you've probably heard a lot, is, it's just that ultimate fear of using, going into territory, unknown territory, if you like, and worrying about all the things that could go wrong,
Exactly.
and being able to deal with it. So you've shown a great example of how you were able to deal with it. So how did you connect with Wealth Building CPA and work with EBERE, and how did she help you?
Well, EBERE has helped me in many ways, among just helping me save money on my taxes. She is more about the relationship, and gosh, I've been searching for that for years. But going to my local real estate investment club, the Baltimore RIA, I found a couple individuals that were already clients of EBERE, and they, recommended that I give her a call. Well, I gave her a call, and probably from that first minute of talking with EBERE, I knew that, wow, okay, this is someone I'm already going to be able to trust, and it's going to be a long business relationship. She's not just out for the money, and I get that with every conversation with her. She's a sister in the Lord. She's very effective. She's organized, respectful. And one of the biggest things that stand out to me was that when they say they'll call you or she'll call you, they call you when they're supposed to. They stick to their word. And, of course, my company being named True Properties, we base ourselves on trust, reliability. And in order to trust someone, you've got to respect them. And I respect EBERE for everything that she's done for our business and for my family. It goes a lot farther than just the paperwork or the office. When I know someone is looking out for the best interest of my family, then that gives me all the motivation in the world to want to work with them.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's great to hear. I mean, I've heard it many times before because obviously I work with EBERE and she helps me with my taxes as well. But you're absolutely right. It's wonderful to hear that from other people because it is so true. And, it's scary when you venture out on your own as an investor or a business person to know who can you trust with your money and to help you. As you said, it's not just about the money, it's about helping your family. And EBERE and her team are excellent at that. So it's wonderful to hear that you've had such a positive relationship. Okay, so before we wind up this call, any tidbits of advice to other investors or people who perhaps are listening to this call, have never invested and would like to get into it? What would you say to them?
Well, don't stop. I mean, don't stop believing. Read, study God's Word, because when God's behind you, you're not going to lose, no matter what. But make sure that this is the thing, this is the profession, this is the passion that you have for life. This is something that you want to be in for the long haul. If you can't find yourself doing this day in and day out, don't get involved in it. It's very tough as a hobby to have a couple rental properties or a couple fix and flips going on, because it just will add stress to your life. Get in and just go headstrong into it, and just don't stop whatever you do. Buy courses, read books, study other people, study successful people. I used to sit down in the back of my house near a washer and dryer, a refrigerator, a kitchen, the back door, and I would sit there and run through the computer, and I would read my books and do whatever I had to do, but I didn't give up. I kept going and pushing and pushing. I used to ask myself questions like, oh, well, what if this happens or this happens? Just kind of going through the diligence of, figuring out exactly how to do the real estate investing. But push through, never stop asking questions, never stop reading, never stop learning, never stop believing. And eventually you're going to cross over that mountain, and you're going to see that once your eyes are opened and God's got you in his tight grip, that you are just going to sail from here on out. It's going to flourish, and you'll look back at all the tough times you went through, and you'll be a believer in yourself and God, and in what you believe in, the passion for your family.
That's wonderful. That's a really great way to end this interview, Robert. I'd like to thank you so much for taking some time out to share that with us. I know that will really inspire a lot of people, because we're going to feature this interview on EBERE's website and promote it, so it will be there forever. So hopefully people will be able to listen to your words of wisdom, from months and even years from now. And if anybody is listening to this and perhaps would like to either work with you, got a deal for you, is there any way they can contact you?
There's several ways they can contact me, but one of the most direct ways would be contacting me on my cell phone, which would be 443-845-6177, and we can speak one-on-one. I'd rather not have a first meeting by email, which is why I liked meeting with EBERE. The first point of contact was by phone. You actually got to talk with someone. So I'm a face-to-face person, like to deal with people one-on-one. I feel that's the best way to get to know with somebody and build a relationship. So thank you very much, Yasmin.
Great. Thank you so much, Robert. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.